I do believe we are on. Hello, everybody. We are back on another Wednesday night. Hello. So happy to have you all with us. Please join us and say hello. We still have about 60 seconds left. And what that does is it gives you time to share while I am sharing on all of our pages. I'm sharing on our Real Women page. I am sharing on my business page. So I'm hoping that you are sharing with someone because we are about to have an incredible conversation that will be empowering, I am certain, to you and those that you love and know. So please share this with them. In addition to that, please say hello to us. Let us know that you are here. We would absolutely love to have a conversation with you today. This will not be a one-way conversation. We have questions we want to pose to you as we are posing questions to our guests. So please join us in the conversation. Say hello to us. Let us know you're here. I'm looking for you. Hey there, Lynette and Charlotte and Linda. We're hoping that you come on in the room. For those of you who can and want to, say hello to us so that we know you're here. I am going to go ahead and get started because we have so much to share. I am so elated to be able to bring someone to you that I know and love. But in order to get there, I want to welcome you to our Wednesday night Real Women Facebook Live chat, where we give you a sneak peek into a conversation with real women, a real conversation with real women. We just talk about things that matter, especially to women. And if you're some brothers that are on, hey there, y'all, Tori and Candace, how are you? Good to see you, wellologist. Hey, Ryan. So listen, we want to have a conversation about the things that matter to women. And so that's what we're going to do for the next 30 minutes. You see the topic, invite someone to come so that they can find out in this season, that this rough financial season that we're in, this rough physical health season that we're in, this rough racial inequity situation that we're in, what can you be doing to help someone else grow, especially in the areas that we're going to talk about today? Please invite them so that they will be able to hear some of this insight. All right, so Real Women, we create safe spaces for women to do personal development work on themselves. We do that through monthly sister circles, and we also have a membership community that we hope you will consider being a part of. Our membership community keeps that we stay connected all month long, all year long, in very close and intimate ways. And we have closed groups. We also have closed sister circles. But in this season of COVID, we have decided to open our sister circles up twice a month to the general public because we would normally have them physically. And so we invite you to attend our virtual sister circles. We have one coming up this Saturday. In 3 days, you can join us virtually. All you have to do is go to realwomenrock.org. Let me tell you, for the summertime, we are not playing. We have some serious topics in store for you. Hot topics, let me tell you, controversial topics. We ready to go there. The first one this Saturday is the spirituality of sexuality. Yes, I said it. The spirituality of sexuality. If you have ever been someone who has been traumatized in any way, molested, raped sexually, and as a result, you are left with guilt and shame that has caused you to shut down related to who you are, and as a woman, you want to be a part of this conversation. You can just sit and soak in what you're learning, and you can be an active part of it. And then at the end of the month, we're going to talk about self-care as it relates to after a breakup. After you break up, how do you take care of yourself? When you break up with your, whether it's divorce, separation, breaking up with your boo, usually we're the last thing on our agenda. And so we want to talk about those things in real ways. Join us this Saturday for an interactive sister circle where we're going to go in with each other. We would love to have you. Hey, y'all, come on in. All right, I want to introduce my guest to you. Oh, you can go to Real Women Rock, realwomenrock.org. obiomamart.org to get information about the Zoom link and everything you need to go to those sister circles starting this Saturday at 11 a.m. Real Women Rock, because we do, .org. All right, I want to welcome our guests. Let me tell you, I've had the pleasure of connecting with her in sisterly ways several times now because of ministry work that I've done on the East Coast, up and down the East Coast, but Philly specifically, New Jersey, all these places. And so I run into sisters that I just keep. And Obioma is one of those that I just love. And she is so many things. She's a speaker. She's an educator. She's an author. She is the founder of a conference. Listen to this, called Breathe. Won't just do it. Just go ahead and do it, right? And in this season that we're in, how many of us need to hear this message, right? Breathe stands for believe, release, embrace, accept, take action, heal, and elevate. And she has had a numerous amount of people come through to empower and pour in to men and women of all walks of life. And she is now here to share with us something really focused and specific, because I was so intrigued by so much of what she does. I told her she got 9 lives, 14 jobs. But in addition to that, I wanted her to share specifically what she was able to do as it relates to moving women from welfare to work. So as you are introducing yourself, just say hello, anything you'd like to share about yourself. I would like for those of you who are listening to let me know how things are going for you in this COVID season financially, how things are going for you. Have you been laid off of work? Have you been able to maintain your work? Are you an entrepreneur and feeling the tightness of the financial straits that everyone is feeling? Where are you as it relates to your work life and your financial life? That's the question I'm posing to you while you say hello to us, girl. Hey.
Hey, y'all. Well, I am, so I'm Obioma Martin, and I like to say I am your virtual breathe coach. And I do a Facebook chat every day and a podcast called Take Time to Breathe. And so I am so honored and humbled to even be able to share this platform. I love you so much. You are like a rock star. You are phenomenal. And this is just amazing. And so, what I want to share with you guys is this. Number one, I understand that some of the audience may be believers and some of the audience may not be believers. But in this COVID season, right, you need to be believing in God. Like I'm just going to go right there, right? Because Buddha ain't showing up, neither is Muhammad, and nobody else. They not showing up. I'm sorry. I got to go straight to it. They not showing up. They just not, right? So with that being said, though, what I do in my work, I focus on education, empowerment, and encouragement, right? Because times are really hard. And so, just as the example that we have when Jesus fed the thousands, right? He met their physical need first. Mm-hmm. Because I can say Jesus love you all day, but if you hungry, you can't receive his love until I feed you and those hunger pains are gone.
Yeah. Oh, that's good, Obioma. That is good.
You know what I mean? So I focus on meeting the physical need first. And the physical need may be a physical need. It may also be financial, right? It may be a whole lot of things. And most of the time, I don't even have to share my faith because light and love is what leads.
Yeah, that is beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And I love the stance that you've taken, in addition to the respect that you've paid to those, for those that don't believe what you believe, they don't believe what you believe, but,
right.
but as for you and your house, right?
Right.
So I love the analogy that you gave, because nobody wants to hear how much you care until you show them how much
Yeah.
you care. And so there is action that is resonating with everyone in these days and these times. And so while I'm asking you all to share, some folks have said that, you know, they're working at home because of health reasons. Some folks have really had a rough time. I know for me, I'll speak for myself. I'll speak up, since y'all, what I'm asking you all in the chat is, what is your work or financial status in this season? All of this stuff that we're dealing with, what is your work or financial status in this season? I'll speak for myself. Much of what I was doing in years past and at the beginning of this year was in person. You know, I am my commodity. So I've been preaching, singing, speaking, doing workshops a lot. I'm thankful that I'd already had an online presence and was already used to doing a lot online, but I had just as much, if not more, happening in person. And so to see all of those things just slowly dissipate away, there had to have been a shift and a pivot that I took in order for me to be able to maintain or to just tighten up with some stuff. And so what really attracted me to the work that you do, in addition to all of the many things that you do to encourage people from the inside out, spiritually and emotionally, you are addressing a need where, and this is the number, you can talk about it, that you have helped 3,000 women or more move from, welfare assistance, all those things, to getting the certifications they need and moving to jobs and all of those things. Could you please talk about that work that you do, and maybe how you do it, how you came about with that work?
So it started, and I have to tell you this. So I used to own a daycare center, and when I got into that work, and I'm gonna say this, I stumbled into that because that was not the desire of my heart. I had no interest of taking care of anybody's children or anything like that. And I was sharing this even on yesterday with a young lady who needed to be encouraged because she's in between work and she's unemployed, and so again, even though she's a believer, the struggle is still real, right? And so I shared with her how at 18 I had received a prophetic word saying that I was going to work with children. And at 18, I was still, even though I had been in church since I was 14, I was still immature and had not had a whole lot of experience with people kind of speaking over my life or whatever. And because I'd never had an interest in working with children, when that word came to me, I was like, clearly this man don't know me and don't know what he's talking about, because I
Not with
did
kids,
not,
huh?
I did not see it, right? I did not see it. And so fast forward, I'm now 21, I'm married, I have 3 children. So my ex-husband and I come into the marriage with a child. We have a child together. We are attending this church. This lady at my church had 5 children, and she could not afford to send them to summer camp. And so her children were kind of blended in age with the children that we had. So I said to her, you know what? I'll watch your children for you. Just send them with some food or provide me with enough money to feed them, because that's 5 to my 3, right? Just basic.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, y'all, basic. Okay, all I did, this is the take action part, and I don't want y'all to miss it because I'm gonna be dropping nuggets the whole time. But this is so simplistic. I saw a need and I became the answer. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
she had a need and I became the answer. Now, I was not seeking money, I was just serving because that is the nature of who I am, right? I am a servant at heart. That is my ministry gift, but that is also how I show up in the world, which is why I'm able to give the way that I give, because it comes so natural to me. But because of that, it brings money to me.
Mm.
So this is what happened. So I simply said, I'll help you. Was not, again, I don't do children, but she had a need. And I had 3 kids, and I'm like, it just makes sense. By the end of the summer, I had 20 children that did not belong to me.
Wow. Wow.
Okay. And because all I was trying to do was make sure that they had a good summer. So I was taking them to parks. I had did all this research on free stuff you can do with kids at home, and all that kind of stuff, because she got her kids, I got my kids. I'm trying to make it work. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to start a business. None of that. This was not my passion. This was not my heart. But remember, this was a word that I was given at 18 that I denied. Okay.
So can I? But why? I just want to pause right there because I don't want anybody to miss that. You don't put a plug right there. Remember where you were going, but I want people. I just put in the chat because in addition to just knowing what your status is now, I also want you to hear what Obioma is saying so that you can consider what are your gifts and your talents that you can turn into income. Because I heard you say you just knew you could do something in the moment to help someone, and it's so powerful that you said you saw a need and you became the answer. You met that need. And so I just want someone to hear that. What is your gifting? What is your talent that you can turn into some income? Go ahead, girl. Tell your story.
Yeah. and so from that, I now had 20 children. So then my dad says to me, I think you should open up a daycare. This was August 2002. I said, I think I should. By December, same year, I was a licensed daycare provider.
Wow.
Okay. Now, again, that was not my start. I had no interest in watching anybody children or starting that business. I was by trade, I was a seamstress, right? I was a professional model. I was all of these other things. Watching children was not a part of that. Okay.
Wow.
But my situation changed. I'm now married. I have a child. My husband wanted me to stay home. So from the age of 7 up to 21, I worked. I've always worked. I've always made jewelry. I've always did hair. I made clothes for people. I'm good with my hands and I like creating stuff, right? So there was always a way for me to create something that somebody liked and I got paid for it. Okay, so that's the other thing. So when I'm teaching people stuff, my first thing, what do you like to do? What do you like to do? Like what's in your house? What's in your hands? And just like the widow woman, when the prophet came to her, Elijah, she said, "All I have is oil." Right? He said, "Go get the containers and go." Now, don't miss this. He told her, "Go get the containers and then go out and ask your neighbors for some more containers." And some of you in this season don't have because you're not asking. You've allowed your pride to prevent you from opening up your hand and your mouth.
That is so good. So good. So good. Because what it is Obioma, it's our pride. You know, our pride says, you know, we don't know what to do. We're not sure what to do. And so we don't want nobody to know that we're
right. So you rather go hungry. And that's stupid. There's no wisdom in that, right? So a closed mouth don't get fed. A closed mouth don't get fed. And as simple as you have not because you ask not. So that's the other thing I say, like, how can I help you if I don't know you struggling? So that's the other thing I teach. Stop struggling in silence. Stop struggling inside. There's resources out here.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. And even if you don't want everybody to know what your situation is, there are enough resources where you can just tap somebody or just go to Google. You can find everything on Google.
Right.
You know, and so that's the other thing. I think people just make things bigger than they have to be. And I'm like, keep it simple. Keep it simple. I have friends who are intimidated by stuff that and I'll be like, go to dictionary.com. Go use it's simple, y'all. It's simple.
Yeah.
Start with what you know.
Yeah.
Start with what's in your hand and start with what you like to do. Yeah. Find a problem and be an answer.
Yeah, that is so good. So you became certified and just literally had not planned on doing that, but became certified to be a child care provider.
So let me just tell you this. Everything that I've done from that point up to this point was nothing that I planned or desired to do. Wow. I literally saw a need, and even today, I literally see a need and I make a decision to be the answer. Yeah. And I go into prayer and I just begin to ask God to show me how. And I begin to just pray about what the needs of people are and how I can provide a solution.
Yeah.
Because if you are serving from a place of how can I be an answer, you will never be broke.
Yeah, that's good.
You will never be broke, because I had to tell you, even when I didn't have food in my house, even when I didn't have the financial ability to do what I needed to do, because I have always had a posture of giving, I've never not eaten.
That's good. Let me ask you this. I need for this space to continue being the most real and authentic space it can be, right? So I need to ask you this. When you started watching folks' kids, when you got certified and everything, I know, because I know you, I know us, we know how to give and just give. Were you charging people when you like did you say I'm watching your kids for a fee, or did you say I'm watching your kids, give me what you want, or did you say I'm watching your kids, no fee involved? I want people to make sure that they're clear about what it means to be a resource for somebody.
Okay, so when it was the summertime, when I was serving, I didn't have no intention to do a business. So that was my sowing season.
Okay, there we go. We getting to it now. Go ahead.
Okay, that was because I didn't know enough to charge.
Right.
I didn't know enough to charge.
So say that you did not know enough to charge. So a lot of times we don't charge because we're not comfortable, because we don't know the rates, the going rates, and we don't know.
I didn't know nothing.
All right,
so I needed to do my research so that I could, number one, now this is where the business coming at, because my background before the daycare was human resources, and my ex-husband background was data processing, IT, and a whole bunch of stuff. So together we did business very well, right? So he was very like, okay, if we're going to do this, we need a business plan. I went right into market research. I started doing surveys of the land. How many daycares are in proximity? What are they charging? I started getting prices. I spent 2 years at the library. I immediately enrolled at my local community college and got my associate's degree. No, I went to work. Now, what I did was I undercut everybody because, again, I was new and I knew nothing, and I didn't feel comfortable charging with other people who had experience charging. But after 1 year into it, okay, I then was able to set my rates that were fair across the board, because it was in relation to what other providers in my area was charging.
Let me tell you how wonderful and well-rounded it is that you are sharing, because you started from a place of talking about service and just really being in prayer and using what's in your hand and all of that. Just there is a place, an inner intention and motivation of service that we all have, that we start from that place. In this season, especially right now, which is what I want you to start getting into, in this season of, not some people not knowing, that we're dealing with furloughs, we're dealing with, not just being straight up fired, not knowing what is going to happen. We've got people making masks because they know masks are needed. We've got, you just mentioned, and what you're talking about is not just the fact that you made it work for you as it relates to childcare, but we're about to get to these 3,000 women that you've helped as well, because what I see you doing is you are walking us through the journey that you've taken that has caused you to build a bona fide business based on your service.
Yes.
And so I love the journey. You didn't just say, I started with nothing and now I made it. Like, you've given us an idea of what your journey looks like. So could you just help us understand how you translated that into helping other women, so that some women who are listening can understand what that looks like for them?
Sure. So 2002, doing the whole daycare thing, I'm licensed, I'm in college so I can get a degree in this, because again, I had nothing in terms of education and experience. So to fast forward now, it is about 2006, 2007, and I'm getting ready to graduate with my associate's degree in early childhood education. Now, this whole time I've been running my own daycare. I decided that I wanted to focus all of the money that was coming in so that it could be quality. So I decided to no longer take from the daycare income and to work outside of the daycare and to just hire enough staff to run it. So
Wow.
I then started running two other people daycares. Right now, while I was running two other people daycares, a man came by who was from the welfare to work system.
Mhm.
And he wanted us to partner with them to hire people so that they could be in some type of activity so that they could keep their food stamps and medical benefits and things of that nature going on. And I saw, here's the problem. I saw that there was a common problem where daycare owners did not do the market research like I did. They did not count the cost before they opened up. They never did the survey. They didn't do none of the groundwork that you're supposed to do to operate a sustaining business. So because of that, because they didn't count the cost, they were opening up and they didn't have enough money for payroll.
Mm.
So then they would go to the welfare to work program to get these free bodies who knew nothing, and they will put them in with the children. And so what happened is now you got high turnover with the children, but you have inconsistency for the children. So there was no continuity of care. So when the man came to me with a pitch, I came to him with a pitch. I said, why don't you allow me to come and train these women? Let me give them just 20 hours, a foundation of child development, so they would have a better chance of maintaining employment because they will understand a little bit more about how children work, and they would be less likely to leave, and they would be more employable, and it will be a win-win for you, the agency, and for them who needs employment, right? So he said, okay, let me take it to my boss. Took it to his boss. What started out as a 20-week program, not even 20-week, it was 20 hours. That was the original contract. What started out with 20 hours turned into a contract that ended into a 120-hour certification that is nationally recognized all over the world that turned into a $15,000 every quarter contract for the first year. I left there, went to another place. The director who was there went to another bigger, larger social service agency, became the vice president there. She calls me up. She said, I like the work that you did there. I'm no longer there. They folded. I'm now the vice president over here, and I want you to come over here and do the same thing. Now, over there, I was getting 15,000. I go now over here with her. I'm now getting $30,000 every quarter. Come on now.
Listen,
And I decided to be the answer.
Let me tell you, Obioma, I am liking this. I'm liking our own conversation. I'm liking and loving and putting up some emojis on our own conversation because this is helping me so much. It's encouraging to know that even in this kind of season, that creativity, like literally divine creativity, God-inspired creativity, caused you to not only move from a whole nother career that you were in before, but to equip you to equip other people. And I love what you said, that the fact that he came to you with a proposal and you heard in there a need again. You heard a need and you decided to pitch him a proposal. Well, I tell you what, this is what I can do for you. And so what I hear you going back to is we cannot be afraid to speak up and express ourselves. So what is your gifting? What is your talent? How can it be used in this season? And then think big, think upward, think outward, think, how can you scale this up and out so that it can help more people and it translate into the dollars that you were talking about. I absolutely love that you turned literally what was beneficial to you to over 3,000 women as far as certification is concerned. So I would love for you to speak directly to the women who are sharing right now. I don't know what their giftings are. They could be in any field right now. I hear you saying childcare. I hear I hear God saying childcare to somebody. But could you speak specifically to what you would advise in this season of women who are, trying to figure out how to take care of their families, trying to figure out, where is this supplemental income or extra income or my literal income, the bottom line income that I need, where is it going to come from?
So again, seek to be the answer. Seek to be the answer, because there has been, so let me just share this, because I got so much I can give you guys, right? There's been highs and lows in everything. There's been highs and lows, but you have to position yourself to be in a place where you can pivot so you can prosper. You have to position yourself to be in a place where you can pivot so you can prosper. And what that looks like is always being able to reinvent yourself. So even though I had that gravy contract, it didn't last. And the reason why it didn't last, because management changed. The people that brought me in left, a new regime came in, and they was like, we don't know you. So I done got all kind of accolades, awards from the mayor, all that kind of stuff. I had to pivot. They showed up one day before Thanksgiving and was like, we don't need you no more. So what I'm going to do? I'm used to this money. What am I going to do, right? And I'm sharing that because even in this season, you can get comfortable and complacent, and that is not the place you ever want to be, because nothing is promised. So Ecclesiastes tells us that you need to have 7 to 8 streams of income, because you don't know what evil is going to come on the earth. And so today, when COVID is going on, the first thing I did, because let me tell you what happened to me. I lost 60% of my income in one day when COVID first hit, because like you, I am my commodity. I'm out. People pay me for, talking and all this kind of stuff. But let me tell you what I did. I decided to be still so that I could create. I decided to be still so that I could create, because there was things on the inside of me that I had been wanting to get out, but I didn't have the time to create. So about a month ago, I'm watching and I'm praying. So I decided again to serve, to give. I did a 30-day free coaching in my group, in my community, right? And when I got to the end of the 30 days, y'all got to hear this, because for 30 days I showed up, I poured out, and I served, and I gave content, no fluff. People's lives was being changed. At the end of the 30 days, what I've learned is that you can't just give people stuff and don't have nothing for them to continue on.
Tell it.
Right? So at the end of the 30 days, I'm paying attention, I'm watching, I'm listening. They still had more needs. They now needed accountability. So at the end of the 30 days, I was able to make a really juicy offer that turned into cash.
You talking.
Come on now. But over the 30 days, they got to know me. They got to trust me. They got to like me. And so because of that, when I was ready to make the offer, those who were ready was like, you can have my money because you poured into me for 30 days.
That is so good. That is so good. I hear what, it does not matter what our giftings and our talents are if we don't slow down enough to cultivate them and create something. I don't normally do this, but I just want to say, with another hat on, all of us wear so many hats, but with another hat on, I mentor women leaders. And what we're studying together right now is creating content. because, these 30 days, same as I'm challenging them to create content, and we are content creators. Your life is full of content, like whatever, and content is so many things. Anyway, so the fact that you are encouraging us to slow down to create content, I think is just incredible. And the fact that in order to use our giftings and our talents, we have to speak up. Those are just, if nothing else, we got to see a need, be the answer, speak up, and then slow down enough to create something that people can respond to. I love it. We could keep going. I know we could. I know you got more to share. I keep interrupting you because it's just nugget after nugget. Thank you so much for this. I want people to know how to get in touch with you.
Yes.
Any closing words you want to share with us?
Yes.
And what offers, what things you have going on right now that people need to know about?
Sure, absolutely. So, well, first and foremost, you can go to my website, which is amazingyou.com, OMAZING, u.com. I do have a conference coming up called Breathe that is in October. That information is on my website. You can follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Obioma Martin. But my offers are this. You can, just like with Dr. Richardson, I also offer coaching. I also mentor. But the areas that I focus on is this: personal development, professional development, and spiritual development. And they are all different, right? And so as an accountability coach and as a transformational speaker, I'm right here in this journey with you. And I am as transparent as you get. I'm going to keep it all the way 100. And I understand that I'm not for everybody, but I am for somebody. And if you are wanting to go to your next level and you want some real accountability, then I'm your coach.
Mm-hmm. I know y'all heard that. Because somebody's listening right now and your story resonates with them.
Mm-hmm.
This is why it's so important for us to share, our stories. It becomes content for us to be a blessing to somebody else, to give them the wisdom and the experience that they need to know you can move forward because your story resonates with them. And also the wisdom that you have shared lets us know that you're someone who has experienced enough, who can pour in. You have already done it for thousands of women. And so I would encourage you all to reach out. If nothing else, plan to go to the Breathe conference to get introduced to the amazing work. I put it in the chat, so you can go to the website. I am just so grateful. You have to come back at some point because
anytime.
We have so much that we could share. But
wait, can I share one more thing?
Yes,
I want to share one more thing. Here's the other thing that I did that was very creative, you guys. So my heart is battered women with children and teen parents. So I'm in the process of opening up a safe house so that they can live there rent free. And everybody's like, well, how's it going to get funded? I'm going to fund it. I am intentionally creating products to fund my philanthropy. Okay? Don't miss that. I'm not asking for a handout. I don't want a grant. I don't want none of that because I want to keep the women safe. I don't want to have to report anything about them. And in order for me to do that, I have to financially be in a place to do that. So what did I do? I began to create Breathe apparel. I began to create Breathe products. I began to create informational products. I have this whole now empire that I'm building just to support women for free.
I'm trying to write it. I can't write it fast enough. I was trying to do it before. That girl said, I'm intentionally creating product to fund my philanthropy. What? So I love it. Thank you so much for this. If you all need this has been caffeine. This has been your coffee for the night. I know you needed this. I know you did. So as you are thinking about how you can pivot in this season, how you can shift in this season. Allow Obiama's testimony to just be an example for you that it is possible to literally shift careers if you need to get certifications if you need to help empower others, to see a need and be the answer. If that wasn't enough for us to get out of these few minutes that we've been together. Thank you so much, my sister.
Thank you.
Don't forget to breathe, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't forget to breathe. Please visit Obioma, and please tune in next Wednesday. We will be right back here. As long as we have a special guest to share with us in the conversation, we will be here so that you can experience a real conversation with real women. We try to give you a sneak peek to just tease you a little bit so you'll come and join us in our sister circles. We create safe spaces for women to do personal development work on themselves in our intimate sister circles. We have moved, we've pivoted, we've shifted into doing them online right now, and you would think something was lost in that exchange. Let me tell you, we got just as many tissues out, and we have opportunities to share. And this month, the hot topics are the spirituality of sexuality. I said that, yes, as well as how to conduct self-care after a relationship breakup. We want to talk about real stuff that you're dealing with and do it in an encouraging way so that you know you have community and sisterhood. Go to realwomenrock.org. Again, realwomenrock.org to get the contact information so that you'll know how to connect with us. Our very next one is this Saturday at 11 a.m. You can also become a member of our community, and you can find that information on realwomenrock.org too, to become a member of our all access community. Thank you all so much. Yes, Kimberly. So I'll give both, right? Our Cash App for Real Women is $Real Women Rock. $Real Women Rock. One of my mentors is going to slap my hand for not sharing that earlier. $Real Women Rock. If you have one, do you have one, Obioma, you want to share?
Oh yes, mine is Amazing 17. OMAZING 17. Amazing 17. And one more thing in my closing comments. If you are really serious though, please inbox me, because I have a way to help you pivot and get some real income rolling in this season that's not going to require a whole lot of time, sweat, and tears. But only if you're serious, because I'm about my coins.
I know y'all heard that. I know you did. So if you're serious, catch her. And Obioma, you said Amazing 17, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I have put both of the Cash Apps in there. Please feel free to sow. We start from a place of service and we build from there.
Yeah.
And I heard you say, Obioma, that all of your income, the thousands of dollar contracts, the money that's overflowing right now, all of those things happened as a result of you having a giver's heart. So we would
everything. Yes.
We would encourage you all to do that. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back next Wednesday. And I hope to see many of you on Saturday. Take care.